Greetings, fellow space travelers. BionicDance here. Today we're going to look at a set of questions that some Christians think every atheist should answer. So let's have a look at number 1. How did I become an atheist? Simple. I was born. Nobody starts out religious. You have to be taught, usually by your parents. And that's all that's necessary to be an atheist, not being religious. Now, if what you want to know is how I became someone who not only doesn't believe in any gods, but who is aware of it and is okay with it, it's also simple. Nothing any religion has claimed that is unique to theism has ever actually been shown to be so. Why would I believe in something that doesn't make its truth known in an unambiguous fashion? The closest I ever came to believing in religion was when I was little and desperately wanted the Force to be real. But that's the closest I ever came. Number 2. What happens after we die? We rot. Next question. Okay, you want more? The brain shuts off. The body organ that generates our thoughts, our feelings, our consciousness, that's simply no longer functioning. It no longer generates us. We've been powered down like a computer. Nothingness. Oblivion. I realize that's scary and to many of us unacceptable, but that doesn't make it any less true. And stories about an afterlife that comfort us, make us believe we'll go on after death. There is no reason to suspect that those have even a scrap of truth in them. Grow up, pull on your big boy pants, and accept a few harsh realities, people. Life sucks, and then you die. Number 3. What, you think you're going to scare me into believing in your God just in case? If he's real, wouldn't he see through that dishonesty? And what if you're wrong, and it turns out that Hades and the Elysian Fields are where you go when you die? Oops. How many different gods are you willing to believe in just to avoid eternal damnation? Are you prepared to hedge your bets? I see no reason to believe in an afterlife, and until I do, I won't. Number 4. Where do I get my morality? Amazon. Allow 4 to 6 days for delivery. Without God, where would you get your morality? Do you really need it imposed upon you? Or could you figure out on your own how people ought to treat each other based on what you would or wouldn't want to have happen to your own dumb butt? This isn't difficult, and it's a pretty do-it-yourself kind of thing. No God required. Number 5. If there's no God, can we do what we want? Well, yes, of course we can. But one of the things most of us want is to be safe from the people who would rape and murder. This is why we have things like, the police. No, not the 80s band with Sting. And what do you mean good deeds go unrewarded? Do we not put people's names in the paper when they save lives? Do we not give out lifetime achievement awards and Nobel Prizes? Okay, granted, I saved a life once and got nothing for it, not even a thanks from the one who's still alive because of me. In fact, we broke up not too long after. And that's got me a little miffed sometimes, but newsflash, the universe doesn't owe you anything. That's a harsh reality. We're on our own, improvising, and sometimes life is unfair. The question implies that you find this unacceptable, but that's just tough luck. Live with it. Question 6. You'll have to forgive me, but I've never really understood this question. Life has meaning. Says who? Life has all the meaning I give it. And who says the criteria for my meaning is the same as someone else's? I might be after fun or creativity, giving joy to others, while someone else might think that improving our world through science is the best goal, and someone else might think that changing the world through politics is their meaning, or medicine, or invention, or children, or any other number of things. Why would I need a God for any of that? And if your life has meaning only because you're worshiping a deity, what kind of meaning is that? If it's the kind of meaning you think my life should have, and you can't understand having a meaningful life without it, well, that's why I don't really understand your question. Our idea of what gives life meaning is so radically different that I don't think any answer I could give would be satisfying. Question 7. This is a dishonest question. The implication is always, if you don't know where the universe came from, then God did it. But how many things did we attribute to gods or magic before we figured them out scientifically? Like lightning, electricity. And we certainly know plenty about how the universe was formed. We're even getting closer to figuring out where the matter of which it's composed originated. Something to do with quantum physics. That's as much as I really know, because I'm just an artist. So even if I can't tell you where the universe came from, that doesn't mean that you can. Question 8. What about miracles? I've never seen one. Nobody I know has ever seen one. Nobody ever caught one on film or video before CGI became a thing. People can tell all the stories they like, even if they're being honest. That doesn't mean they're not deluded or thinking wishfully. But until I get my hands on some proof, scientific proof, that's all they are. Stories. You're gonna have to do better than that. Question 9. I'm really not the world's hugest fan of Sam Harris. I like a lot of what he says, but then he also seems to get into some sort of wacky meditation woo-woo, and even if he's not claiming it's supernatural, it still doesn't help his credibility. Not with me, anyway. Dawkins, on the other hand, has a lot of science on his side, a lot of logic, but Hitch is, alas, was, my absolute favorite. He had the logic of Dawkins, but he was more socio-political and also very clever speech-wise, eloquent and biting, and no less correct than the other two, not to mention Dan Dennett. Question 10. A much better question would be, if there is a God, why doesn't every society have the same religion? The only possible answers are that there isn't just one true God, but rather a pantheon of different gods, or that there never was a God, and religion is simply a result of each culture trying to explain the world around them before they were properly equipped to even try, and to comfort themselves with the idea of a protector when they were scared of the unknown. A third option might be that there is only one God, and that the different religions are a result of misinterpretations and schisms, but given how radically different many of the religions are, this seems unlikely. So why does every society have a religion? Human nature. And that's that. Questions asked, questions answered. Most of them were ones we've heard before. It's my hope that my answers were different enough and intelligent enough to warrant thought. Also, I hate to say it, but we are forced to repeat ourselves. If our intent is to inform or to change minds, we can't just say what we like and then move on, not when the people arguing against us won't do the same, repeating themselves ad nauseum. So if what I've said today sounds familiar to you, my apologies. If it's new to you, however, I hope it was worth these last few minutes. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please think.
So, who wants cake? You have to rate first.